What's up, sports bettors? I'm going to be taking you through two NFL player props that you do not want to miss. So we're going to be betting at plus 260 odds on this platform called ThriveFantasy. So again, if you're kind of new to the OddsJam YouTube, we place bets on a bunch of different sports books. We don't have a deal with one sports book where all of our bets have to be on one sports book because that doesn't make sense. We follow the opportunity. So what you'll notice is this new fantasy platform, which is called ThriveFantasy. They pay you $1,000 to win $3,600 for any two picks. It's really that simple. Any two picks you select from here, you're going to see, as you'll see right here in a second, you're going to see it's $1,000 to win $3,600, right? Any two picks you select. You can select both overs. You're going to see $1,000 to win $3,600, right? Your payout doesn't change depending on the picks you select. Two picks, $1,000 to win $3,600, which is just plus 260 odds, right? You're betting $1,000 to win 2.6K in profit, plus your $1,000 stake back, so it's $1,000 for a $3,600 payout. Now, the reason this platform's cool is because they offer a lot better payouts than prizepicks. So we initially started doing our videos on prizepicks on the OddsJam YouTube, but then we noticed they offer a lot worse payouts than ThriveFantasy and Underdog Fantasy, so we switched to, doing most of our content on Thrive and Underdog because there's more profitable bets on those platforms. Like you can see here, $1,000 to win $3,000 for any two picks is what you get on prizepicks. So their payouts are a lot lower, which is why Thrive is better, and you want to sign up for Thrive. But anyways, let's go ahead and let's kind of go through the picks I have. So, if you're new to the OddsJam YouTube, we really try to focus on data. And by that, I just mean, my background is I was a quant on Wall Street, is everything's about data. And the reason sports betting's so fascinating, and the reason it's one of those rare forms of gambling that you can actually have an edge and win long term, just like poker, you can win in poker. There are professional poker players, right? There are people who do sports betting for a living. There are people who do poker for a living. There are not people who do slots for a living, right? Slots, you can't win. Blackjack, you can't win, right? Most games, roulette, you cannot win. You can't beat the house. You can't have an edge. In sports betting, that's not true. So in sports betting, you can have an edge, and the reason is because all of these sports books have different odds from one another. Bet365 has different odds than DraftKings, has different odds than Caesars and MGM. All of these sports books want to be unique, so it's fascinating, and they set lines independently. From a market perspective, if you're a data person, that's fascinating because you essentially have thousands of operators, small sports books, big sports books, exchanges, peer-to-peer betting, fantasy sites, all trying to set the same line, the same odds, the same prices that they believe they're making money on for Daniel Jones passing completions, which you can see right here. And again, it's free to browse odds on OddsJam, 100% free. So what you'll notice is this is the first play we're going with a 1% profit margin from the OddsJam Positive EV betting tool. Daniel Jones over 17.5 passing completions. Right? Basically, if you don't care at all about the math, we have a ton of nerdy math sports betting videos breaking down for you how Thrive Fantasy works, how Underdog Fantasy works, how prizepicks works, tons of nerdy videos. But if you just want the pick, just place the bet in bold with a circle around it. It's really that simple. Daniel Jones over 17.5 completions. And why do we like this bet? It's pure value, right? No other sportsbook is giving us better than minus 120. And most importantly, BetOnline, a very sharp offshore sportsbook, and Pinnacle, a super sharp offshore sportsbook. So the two sharpest bookmakers are pricing this at minus 130 and minus 156 respectively. Minus 130, minus 156, right? So both of these books are telling us, you're getting insane value on Thrive Fantasy at minus 111. So again, sportsbooks set their odds based on the action they see in the market in their models, right? So there are millions of dollars bet on the NFL. So it's very hard to just be like, oh, I watch Daniel. It's impossible. I don't know why I'm saying hard. You can't just watch highlights of the previous week and beat the NFL on point spreads. It's why, in general, people who say they're handicappers, all that, it's complete BS, right? It's complete BS. You can't watch highlights and create your own model and beat a market that has millions and millions of dollars of trading volume, right? These are very efficient markets, just like the stock market, you know, like the price of Facebook stock. There's hundreds of millions of shares trading per day. It's no different in sports betting. There's a lot of money bet on sports. So these markets are pretty efficient. And granted, there's discrepancies from book to book, but the way you make money sports betting is you follow the markets, you follow the value. Any sharp bettor will tell you that. What you can see right here is, wow, Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker in the world, they're pricing Daniel Jones over 17.5 completions at minus 156. We're getting it minus 111 on Thrive. That seems like pretty great value. If we take their market and we remove the vig with a no vig odds calculator, what you'll see is the true odds, according to Pinnacle, for the over hitting is minus 132. 57% win rate, minus 132. We're getting on Thrive minus 111 implied odds and a 2-pick entry. So this is kind of the nerdy stuff I discussed. I'll put an article in the description where you can learn more about the math kind of behind Thrive Fantasy, how you compare the lines on Thrive Fantasy, on Underdog Fantasy to the sports books. But this is the first play I ended up going with. Second play you may want to go with, but not the play we went with, is Nico Collins under 42.5 receiving yards. Well, it looks like Thrive just pulled it. They're like, yo, our bet's positive EV. It's way too good. We're not going to let people keep betting it. So they pulled it. So the next play I have is going to be right here. Tyler over 8.5 receiving yards. This would have cashed in his last game. Once again, following the data. All the sportsbooks have the over heavily juiced. We're finding value. You're finding bets that are on sale that have a mathematical edge that you can quantify. And Pinnacle Sportsbook and BetOnline Sportsbook have the over super juiced. Pinnacle has this minus 151. This is a play we want to be all over on Thrive Fantasy. So I hit it. And you can see my bets right here. We'll go to it in a second. So we have upcoming. And I have some big plays that I love. Christian Watson, receptions over 1.5. Elijah Moore, under 3.5 receptions. Gibson, I love this play. Over 45.5, under 45.5 rushing yards. Marquise Brown, over 5.5 receptions. Love that play. And then I threw 50 on this Daniel Jones. Over Tyler, over receiving yards, completions. 2 picks. Let's make some money. And hopefully you found this video super helpful. Hopefully it was insightful into how you can beat the sports books. And hopefully, we make some money on these picks. So, tail away.